and that's what it is for me.
Very cool. I want to see about showing the trailer from the first Mutilator.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go on to some pictures that are yours and some more questions.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Let's roll it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What do you say? 4 days of R&R at the beach. I'm in.
She's in. I'm in. Sounds good to me.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
They thought their vacation would be fun. They were wrong. Dead wrong.
He's what's called a trophy hunter.
Boom, 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 boom.
Dad used to tell me that he'd hunted everything but man.
Hey.
I'm coming to get you.
Ralph? Sue?
School was hell, but vacation was murder. The Mutilator.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And I love the idea that they also have some of the people from this particular piece that are going to be in the new one.
Yes, they do. It's the first one is, as you can see, a standalone kind of slasher. And if you haven't seen it, it is not your typical slasher. It is not your typical slasher at all. It's a lot of fun. And there are things in there that will definitely actually surprise you, even though it's from like 1983, 84. You're gonna go, wait, what? But like it's amazing. So the sequel has Ruth Martinez in it, and she was right in the beginning of that trailer, and she's the final girl. Bill Hitchcock's in it, and a ton of other people from the film that I would say I would call them like Easter eggs. You know, there'll be like a background player that you go, oh, wait a minute, that's so and so. If you look, it's gonna be a lot of like IMDb trivia, like, oh, this is that person, and it was fun actually on the set of the second one, going, oh, you're the dude from you're the son of the so and so from that scene, and you know, I mean, Buddy Cooper, the director, his son Trace, who was actually in The Mutilator, the first one, he was on set as well in a cameo part, and you know, it was fun to me. It was like a whole family affair. It really was.
That's pretty cool. All right, so I got some photos of clips of things that you have done.
Okay, great. Oh god.
And I'm gonna get out of here. And so what's this about?
That is my first University of North Carolina School of Visual Arts UNCSA show, a movie called Painted Love. It was a senior thesis film, and I play Greg, who is a mean boss. You know, I seem to be stereotyped as the boss who wears the tie and the jacket that's too big for him, kind of guy. And this was on a studio, and it was a giant production with red cameras, and I think was the black magic involved. I don't remember. This was a couple years ago, and this was directed by Michelle DeGrace, a very lovely person, a very lovely bunch of students who I most likely went on to do wonderful things. I think this was like 2019 or 2018, around there.
how many lines did you have? Was it what kind of a part was it?
I played the boss. It was a romantic comedy. I played the antagonist, who the protagonist was this woman. Her name was Claire, I think I say. Oh my God. And she is fantasizing about going to Paris and living a life not being tied down to a job. And she goes to a local, I think, antique store, and there's a painting. And she kind of slowly, magically goes into the painting and starts a love affair with a man in the painting. And all she wants to do is go see this painting every day. And then one day she just quits and goes into the painting forever. As every film, including short films and student films, there are alternate endings. I had a big monologue at the end of the film, but they had to cut it, obviously, because it could only be like 15 or 16 minutes. But my character has like this catharsis where he's kind of jealous in the fact that he realizes what the woman is doing, which is living her life.
And how does he feel about her? Does he feel a certain kind of way? I
think again, it's kind of cut a different way in the film, but in the original script, it was kind of like he was kind of flirting / friendly with her because he liked her and he didn't want her to be taken advantage of by other coworkers. There's another coworker that like takes money out of her Paris fund jar. Like she has a Paris fund. She wants to go to France, so she has like a couple of dollars. So the coworker comes up, oh, can I get a candy bar or get a sandwich? And I think I even say in the clip that I put on the reel, I even say something of like, well, if we treated the company like the piggy bank that you have, we'd all be broke because you just won't keep the money where it should be. I actually liked playing that part, and I liked really working with that school, and they gave it a great reel with that. So
you get to do a lot of different kinds of acting parts, and I had a really great time going through your reels and looking at different photos, and I was doing screenshots from a lot of them. That's how I captured a bunch of these.
Right.
And it was hard as heck to do, but I think I got some pretty cool shots.
Good. That's a good shot.
Let's talk about this one.
All right. This one's very recent. This one's I shot this back in March of 2023. This is a fantasy film, but it's a family film from UNCSA, again, the University of North Carolina, School of Visual Arts. I have to say it because if I don't say it, I'll forget the school and I'll say something else in front of the people from there. So this is a script where a little boy is overhearing his parents fighting about money, and he wants to save his bicycle and save all his toys and save his parents' relationship. I hope they do release this film on their website one day, and maybe in the summer or something. Painted Love is on their website, but this one is great because it is so nice and cute and family orientated. And I play the bad guy. I play Mr. Money, the metaphoric Mr. Money problem. The guy is evil. He makes your day bad. But you need the guy because you need money to pay the house, to live. And if he takes it away, you're screwed. So this I was number 14 or something. They went through all these 14 or 15. I actually asked this question. I normally don't. Like I said, I'm not competitive, but I'm like, I kind of went like, why'd you pick me?
Right.
They said you were the guy, and I was like, oh, pat on my back. So out of 14 people, they picked me, and I gave it everything I got. Everything. Every actor wants to play something like this. I am a cartoon comic book villain, so I'm allowed to go over the top. I'm allowed to go, beyond crazy and ridiculous situations. And this short film, and I hope it is released somewhere, they had so many special effects. the man who did it, his name was Roy. I don't have his last name in front of me right now. Sorry, Roy, but it's incredible. Like they did such a great job with this that and it was hard to film because I had to I interact with a little boy, and we actually were on Apple boxes adjacent from each other, and we had to move slowly, because they had to match the right plates to the special effects they were doing. So we kind of didn't have a scene together, me and the little boy, Dominic, his name was, and we were always opposite each other on the opposite side of the room, just because it was a special effects show.
Right.
It had to look like a comic book, so there needed to be space so then they could put all the animation and stuff. It's a big comic book, so he punches me in the face, and then dollar bills come out of my head. It's fun. This one I'm incredibly proud of.
Is this another one from that?
Yes, this is
that's what I thought.
Right. I love this costume too. It's just like I walked on the set. Like, we got this for you, and I started laughing for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I put this on me immediately. I love this. This is great because this is not me. Like I wouldn't wear something like this. I mean, it's a costume, and now it's like I get to be that guy. I get to be the Joker. I get to be the Riddler. I get to be Lex Luthor. I'm the comic book villain. So
not too many people get to play bad guys,
right?
And that they kind of sort of seem to have a little bit of a moral character, though. Right. They're not truly all bad.
Right. This guy was really bad. This guy didn't have a moral because, and I said this to the writer and the director, I said, he is coming out of the imagination of a little boy. So Mr. Money is not going to have a moral center. He's going to have a bad or good. Is he bad or good type of thing? No, this guy's bad. He's making my parents separate. They're fighting, all sorts of grief.
Yeah.
And I even said there's a line that I go in the movie, and I remember this because it's recent. Yay. I'm gonna next I will come for your 401k. And I asked him, do you want me to say 40k? Because I'm like, that'll be a kid doesn't know what a 401k is. If he sees that, it would say, and he's learning how to read and mathematics, he would go 401k.
Right.
And he said, no, just say 401k because the audience won't know what that means. So I'm like, all right. So he might have overheard that someone say 401k, but how they edited this thing was incredible. So it is also on my reel on IMDb. And hopefully it will be on their website soon. Another show that from the same school, UNCSA, and they are, again, I want to applaud that whole institution. They are amazing, and if you want to learn how to do film, yes, there's a NYU, obviously, and other places. I think Florida has one, of course, LA.
Right.
This school, they breed such talent. It's amazing from all over the country, by the way. Mostly Southern kids from Florida, from North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina. And it's a great crew. Now this show, I actually work with my friend Dan Grogan, who's in The Mutilator 2. In fact, he's also in the last film, picture you said, in Mr. Money as well. We're good friends. So I was actually acting with him, so that was just fun seeing him every day and just having a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
This show is a spoof of like a kind of like a political thriller type of thing, where 4 serious people are in a room and they're going to talk about tragedy. But the hook is, instead of like a political espionage thing, it's who's going to run for the PTA president. And I'm like the fixer / closer. So the patriarch of the family, the house owner, he's running for PTA president. So they hire me. So I'm like the fixer. So I'm trying to convince my friend Dan, who is like the last member on the PTA board or whatever, to sign a piece of paper so we can make this other guy president. And it's absurd. It's ridiculous. Like, we're like neck and neck, throat clenching, cursing at each other and stabbing each other, punching each other over being a PTA president. And again, that's another show that was great. And I got to play a guy who, you know, if this was like a rated R 90-minute feature, I know I would have been like doing kung fu. It would have been amazing. It would have been great. I don't do that in this movie, unfortunately. Next time, I promise.
You look a little. You look a little kind of, you know, like
kung fu-ish.
we're gonna do this, you know.
I remarked, like, I don't like when I'm on a set. I don't like looking at the camera. Behind the camera, there's always a monitor, and they always do playback. It's either called dailies or rushes.
Right.
I don't like watching them at all because I like watching it now, like at the premiere. I like watching it all together. And I just, Carl, come here. And I walk by and I looked at myself, probably in this shot, and I go, why does every shot I look like I'm going to kill somebody? Every single, it doesn't matter what movie it is, every single shot.
Just reading a kid's book and I'm, yeah, because I'm going through your photos and I'm like, there's a little typecast here.
I really want to not be that guy, but it's always like, all right, Carl, turn it on. I'm like, okay, do you want me to be this growly, this angry? What do you want me? Like, what's the volume level? And they always want, if it's 1 to 10, they always want 11. All right, okay, give me the money now, or I'm gonna kill your family. You know, and so I'm like in everyone's face all the time. But it's funny and it works. Like, you know, whatever the shot is, it works, and I become that person, and it works.
So when you get a script or a few lines,
yes,
what is it that you do when you're by yourself, there's nobody watching, to be able to help you develop that character?
Excellent question. All right, so I read the script, and it's either like I'm giggling very hard about how bad it is. I'm either going, okay, I could do something with this, or I can go, you know, say no, and I won't do this at all. Or on the occasion that I'm like really pumped, like a Mr. Money or a Please Come to the Table, the picture behind you.
Yeah.
I go, okay, let me look at this the second, the third time. Because here's the thing, I could read the script one time, but I liked it, I'll do it. Then I read it the second time and I go, wait, this doesn't make sense at all. Like, I mean, you know, you have to go back, annotate the text. I take a pencil, and I learned this from Jack Nicholson, who learned this from Boris Karloff. You can find this information on the Shining DVD, the Vivian Kubrick behind the scenes. He actually, the way Boris Karloff / Jack Nicholson highlights his lines is he does a check mark by his name. I've been doing this for years. I do it the same way. And so I do that first. I look at the lines. And then if it's like a student film, even if it's not, I always ask the producer, I'm like, is this the final draft? Is this the final cut? Is this what we're doing? If they say yes, and it's like, you could tell if it's draft one, all right, you know, then I give it kind of having hard, do I really want to do this? And maybe I'll ask him if I can improv on the set, which does happen on occasion. But I will look at this person and go, all right, what am I doing here? And I will actually write, if I have to write a sentence in the margins at first, and I go, okay, what does the guy want? Every role I go to, I always say to myself, what does this guy want? Does he want money? Does he want power? Does he want a woman? Does he want, you know, family? Does he want to get married? Does he want a new job? So, like, for example, for Please Come to the Table, which is the picture with me and the scarf. My character wanted Carson, that's my buddy Dan, to sign a piece of paper to make the person the PTA president.
Right.
He paid for the job. He wanted money, and that was his. I hate saying motivation, but it's what the purpose of the character was for that show.
Well, yeah, there is a, what is this person's motivation? Is it sex? Is it money? Is it power? Or is it something else, or a combination of, you know, all of them?
Right. Yeah. And it's just you have to do that every time.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you might not get parts that you're going to be able to
Because,
keep
you know,
keeping.
what will end up happening is it will be like two-dimensional.
Right.
And okay, so, you know, and it might not even be a big part or anything like that, but sometimes very small parts are integral to what is going on. That's why
Right.
they're there.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, and it helps move the story along.
It's the characters that, you know, I like, and a lot of my favorite kind of supporting actors or character actors do this. They usually push the plot along.
Sure.
They're there for a reason. You know, I mean, multiple times. I love playing those kind of parts, and that's a part like I'm playing right there behind you. Like, where
Right.
like my whole point is to get a signature on a piece of paper.
All right, let's go to. Let's see what this is going on here.
Ah, yes. This
Let me
was
get out of the way. No.
This is my buddy Melissa Butler's film called Suicide Notes. This is a part that I treasure because this part I don't try to kill somebody or I don't try to interrogate somebody. I play Caden Edwards, a suicide counselor. He's a suicide counselor and he runs a group through his church and supports other people who try to kill themselves. He has all the members of this group write in their notebook suicide notes about what they're feeling, why they want to kill themselves, why they want to do what they do.
Right.
And every time they have the feeling to do something to themselves, he says, open it up, and this is why you have to live. These are the reasons why you have to live. The plot of the story is one of the members does kill themselves for real. And they find out in the meeting. The woman next to me, her name is Harriet Burnett. She's an amazing actress, and she plays the mother of one of the person who person who commits suicide, and she wants to know why that we didn't help her. Like, she blames us.
Mm-hmm.
And through the story, you find out that she was going to do it anyway, and we all tried. And we help Harriet's character to cope with just living, and telling Harriet's character there really wasn't anything you could do about it. We all tried, and this woman lost her struggle with the battle of hurting herself. I love this movie. It actually is on it's called Force Streams Media.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch that, and I've done another movie for my friend Melissa Butler. It's a little short film as well. I think there's a maintenance on the website, so I right now I don't think I could link to it. But this was a part that I wanted to play because, you know, it was serious in nature, and it was a story that needs to be told, and I was the lead of this, so that also helped. And I worked with tremendous actors and actresses on that set, and there was no special effects. It's just us all in a room sharing experiences through the story, through the script,
Mm-hmm.
sharing experiences through each character trying to kill themselves. I actually, in the film, I have a makeup scar where I take I think my character took like a circular saw or sawzall, some sort of, and we were talking if we actually got financing for a feature to actually show it, kind of thing. Note about production: it was so hot in that apartment, and that house that we rented for the set. My makeup actually dripped off. Like it was pure latex. It was a really cool, disgusting scar. And I think we saw it maybe once in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like I do something like this, and like, all right, everybody has that, and it, oh, my scar, hold on. You only post it back on.
We have to fix this.
Gotta fix that. That's a problem. But
so in some of the films that you do you also have other places where you do special effects, or have them get you in makeup and to energize your character?
I would love to do something like that. That film is like the closest I've done to maybe makeup, and also Mr. Money. They drew a little mustache on me. I would love to do like Jeff Goldblum's makeup in The Fly. I would love to do that. That'd be so cool. Yeah. Or Freddy Krueger, or something. I would love to do that. I think that would be cool, just to try it. I know it's like 3 hours to apply or something, and then like 5 hours to take off.
Horrible amount of time for some of these special effects, sometimes 4 or 5 hours or longer.
Yeah.
To be able to get you all kind of stuffed in there and layered up and it's incredibly fun too.
Yeah, I would love to if anyone's listening, I would love to do such a thing. So
all right, so let's see what else we have in here. No. I have like a ton of photos. Here we go.
Which one? Oh, that's one of my headshots. That's actually like in my backyard.
And again with the face.
Well, that's like out of one of 100, and it's like, do something serious. What, like this? Yeah. I was born with that look. I have that look, and I have children, and usually if I give that look, they don't say the next thing they were going to say. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's a gift.
It is. Ah, good. Okay, so that is from
Found one.
Found a good one. That's actually when I was super heavy too. That's my friend Melissa Butler, who did the last show, Suicide Notes. This is The Closet. This is it's kind of a horror movie thriller, and it's maybe 15 minutes long. And I play a social worker, and the gentleman in the photo, his name is Tremaine Blair, another great actor, who's, I think he's on a television show right now. Don't ask me which one. He's a good dude. And we were in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina filming in this house. And I come in and investigate a disturbance, a crime. And I go to this little girl who actually has a hearing impairment. I'm like, why is her hearing aids broken? Like, why is Tremaine had her name was an actress playing his wife. Her name was Felicia. Oh God, this is like 7 years ago, and she was great too. And she was catatonic. So I come in and I go, my character's like, well, what the hell is going on? So I'm taking pictures of the woman's bruises, and my guy in this scene, I take over. Like, I just go, okay, what's going on? There's a closet in a corner that has chains on it. Like, what the hell's going on with this, And then there is a supernatural thing to it too. But this is another part. And Melissa Butler is a great writer and a great director. And this is another one that I'm proud of. This character here, I actually love this guy. If I never played like a cop.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the closest one to playing a cop for me. So I could definitely play. Hey, I could play a cop. I can play a detective.
I know, right? You get in there and do what it takes to be able to play as many roles as you possibly can,
Right.
And so that you have a larger range, and then all they have to do is just go, yeah, I saw you on this, or I noticed that you had the right kind of energy that we're looking for, and I want you to do it. So improvising, sometimes acting, especially in indie films, takes some improvising. What do you do when you're told you're allowed to do that?
I don't go nuts, because the other actor has to know how to improv as well.
Right.
They can't just some people can't do it. Some people just can't do it. Like, I can't be myself They say, "Oh yeah, be you." I don't want it to be me because I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I'm not gonna like be, I'm not the life of the party. If I'm gonna be improv, I'm gonna go take the guy that I am doing. What does he want? And I'm gonna let him do it. It's not gonna be me. It's a little bit of like an autistic kind of thing, or a more or less a. No, it's a training as well. It's a way where I can actually hone into different aspects of this character,
Right.
and give him, more of a personality. I've done it numerous times. I just did something recently where we're all sitting around a table, me and 3 other characters, and it comes to me say my line, and I look at the character like this, and he didn't know I was going to do this, and I just slammed my fist on the table, scared everybody at the table, and then I just said my line and something else, and freaked them out completely. So just a little bit can twist the performance. And sometimes like the script's that bad that we're like, yeah, we got to fix this, and let's just we'll talk to the actors. How do you feel about improv? How do you feel about me doing whatever? What I would never do, I would never slap somebody without them knowing it, type of thing.
Right.
I would never backfist somebody. That is unprofessional. You go up to somebody and be, hey, when on this line, slap me. It's okay. Which I don't think it's ever okay, but I mean, it's, it happens sometimes. But if you're gonna get physical, you gotta tell somebody. Like if I'm being threatening, I'm like, well, I'm gonna lean into you a little bit. Is that okay? Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely it will be. Actors, again, they're sharing the same kind of creative space, so they understand that I'm not doing it to the actor, I'm doing it to the character.
Right.
Which I always make clear. It's like, no, we're acting. No, my dear boy, we're acting. We're not. It's not real. Sometimes you got to remind people that.
When
No, I did that in a movie. I didn't. That wasn't me.
Right. So, all right. So when you get into a role and you've been in it for a while, how long does it take you to come out of that role? And what is your process if you have to bring yourself back to you're just a regular guy?
Perfect example. I was playing a serial killer. Big surprise. I actually have it in my reel. You might even show it. I cut somebody's head off with a chainsaw, and there's blood and all sorts of stuff. And on the set, there's blood flying everywhere. I had blood on me, and I had blood on my backpack, and I lived in New York. I had to take the train to Long Island, and I had to go through Penn Station all the way to Ronkonkoma or whatever. And I'm sitting on the train, and I forgot. I mean, there was like specks of blood on me. There's some blood on my my backpack. I'm just sitting there.
And how are you being looked at?
No, but no one's looking at me.
Nobody's seeing nothing. No. We don't see nothing.
No.
There's nothing going on.
I also had like a Bluetooth in my ear or earbud. I was listening to like an audiobook. I was listening to Billy Crystal's audiobook. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm not even like reacting.
Appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
And then it's like, I had him going, I'm like kind of like was walking different because he was still there.
Right.
And I get in my car and I get to my house and it's done. He's gone. Oh my God, I have to get him out of there. Because I had to keep him in my head because the next day I was shooting him again. Usually that's the case. Usually as soon as I'm off the clock and I don't have to think of the script, I'm off the clock.
Right.
I mean, we've heard the stories of some actors.
Some people can't make that part stop.
Right. They have 3 Oscars because of it. And I don't see, some Your Majesty, and you're on an iPhone. I don't get that. It's like, wait, what? No, you can't be checking your email while you're a pirate. I'm sorry. That's funny, but I mean, you can't. And the magic of movies, you might be on the set for like 5 hours, but only work for 5 minutes. They might just need you to walk in a room, press a button on a computer screen, and leave.
Yes.
And like, all right, so we need you to approach here, press this button, and look scared, and run away. Run out this door. This door or that door? No, this door. That's all we need you to do. That's all you need me to do. Okay, fine. And rolling, speed, cut, act, and boom. That's it. So this I gotta stay in character the whole day is kind of nonsense with some things. Just hate to bust the magic of it completely, but it helps with some things.
Right.
But like action, I am the character. I am going to kill you with a chainsaw. I am going to be a pirate. I am going to cut. Hey, I'm Carl again. Let's go have some coffee. Let's go have, let's go have a Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely. So it's important for you to learn as much as you can about your craft. What kinds of ways do you incorporate learning about your craft?
I listen to actors talk about their craft. Everyone. I'm a big Samuel L. Jackson fan, and there's Master Class. Have you seen that? You can learn how to paint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can learn how to write like the guy who wrote the Da Vinci Code. You can learn how to act like Samuel L. Jackson. I actually, because I'm a big fan, I did take his class, and I recommend taking his class. I don't know about the others, but I'm a big fan, love it, and he gave great information about that. Listen to how they do it, and you can learn. Every actor, or actually anybody in any craft, you still have to learn things. You just have to like listen and learn. I read a lot of books. I just read Ray Milland's autobiography. I read, I did, what else I did? Roger Moore, David Niven. I have Sharon Stone I finished. Somebody else I finished. I can't think of who. No, it's you're always listening to somebody else, what your peers like. Well, how'd you do this? How did so and so do this? I'm always fascinated by like a movie or something that I've loved, and then you find out behind the scenes that everybody in the cast hated each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But when they're on set, you're doing everything you need to do because it's that character and
yeah.
It's like it's in your blood, especially if it's like a series or something like that. And you have to be able to keep up that particular kind of energy for the character, or you get cut, you get killed off, you get something that you're probably not going to like.
Right. Yeah. No, that's basically
another photo.
That's my favorite photo.
Who did this as the headshot?
Her name is Tammy Dixon, and she is a photographer in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She did
a good job.
Great, yeah, she's a great photographer, and you can find her on I think you can find her on Facebook and all the other places to find her. You can Google her if you're in the Winston-Salem area. She is a photographer who's been taking pictures since she was like, I think she said 8 or 9, and she gave me like 6, 7 looks, and I work well with her because she directed me. I'm like, I want people to direct me and tell me what to do. Like, I want to look all sexy in this picture. So give me, I want to do that. Not like, let me rip your heart out kind of thing. I mean, that's easy for me, obviously. So I want to be like, I want to be the heartthrob. I want to be Tom Selleck without the mustache.
What's the best advice that you have heard without being like privy at the table? Like something you overheard that was just some really good advice as a creative?
Learn to fail. Like you're gonna screw up. Your first draft, you never want to put out there. You never want to put your first take out there. You never want to put your first your first writing out there, recording. Like if you're a singer, you got to learn the notes to the music.
Right.
You do a demo take, but you're never gonna put the demo take out first. And it's the people who do not only aggravate me, but it's the people who think they're masters at it. And you're like, no, you gotta crack.
Everybody is still learning something. I mean,
Right.
I've been doing this show for 10 plus years, and I love to watch other people do what I do, because there's something that you can pick up from everyone.
You can learn from anybody. I mean, a professor told me once, the great piece of advice was, Michelangelo was asked, what do you do when you see a piece of marble? How do you make a statue? And Michelangelo said, well, I just sculpt until I see it. And if you're not there, you're not there. If you don't see it, you might have it in your mind, I want it to look like this, or I want it to do like this. But if it's not concrete, it's not there. It's not there.
Right.
The audience tells you if it's there. The director should tell you if it's there. The writer should tell you if it's there. That's the way to do it. You might think it's there, but it's not. You need somebody else. Always, this is for me, don't perform for your friends and family, because they're going to be, oh, that was great. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Go perform for the guy in the 5th row that paid $20. He had to get a babysitter to come out and see you do in whatever.
And if you're not good, he's really going to be ticked.
No, you're gonna get mad. You're not gonna get the right response. But the guy who paid the money for the babysitter, he walks up to you. Let's say, it's a player,
and he likes you.
Yeah, and he comes up, he shakes your hand. Hey, man, that was the greatest thing I've seen all night. I really enjoyed it. That's who you're working for.
Absolutely.
Total stranger. So, yeah, I would say that would be like best piece of advice is just, work for the strangers, not for the people who know you.
All right, so we're going to go and we're going to show the trailer for Mutilator 2.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, the first line you're going to hear was the first line in the first movie trailer. Root says,
2 days of R&R at the beach.
Condo at the beach. It's changed since you were here before?
It was just a movie, but it brings bad vibes.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Even if it kills us.
Are you the killer from the last movie they made?
Begin.
We are fortunate to be attending by special invitation only the Rap Party / Horror Fest, our favorite slasher, The Mutilator.
There appears to have been a murder. I need to talk to your people, one-on-one.
Am I a suspect?
Everybody's a suspect.
That guy talk to you yet? The cop?
Cover for me, please. Just keep my name on.
Come on. We want to have a private party.
Yeah.
Come with us.
Who's there?
Oh, Ed, but just in time for the big finish.
So stay tuned. It'll be coming soon to a theater near you.
All right, so that was a pretty cool trailer, and there were a lot of different kinds of shots that I got from that particular trailer too. So I'm going to bring up some on here. First of all, where was it shot?
Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. That is an actual drone view of this resort that we were at. It is gorgeous. You can go there and fish. You go there and play in the sand. You can surf. You can do everything beach people do.
It's pretty cool. Wouldn't mind being there.
Oh, it was fun. That was my set. I even posted, I think, on Instagram.
How long did they? How long were you at this particular place?
Me, 8 days, I believe, and I think production was maybe 6-7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 8 or 9 weeks altogether. I think, as I wasn't there the whole time, but it was from my house in North Carolina. It was like a 4-hour drive. It was worth it, I'm like, I posted from there, I think on Instagram, like, this is my set.
Oh yeah.
On the beach, and this is great. There's a wonderful restaurant right there. Buddy Cooper's daughter actually owns I think it's a barbecue place, and I can't think of the name of it, across the street from his resort, which is the Oceanic resort. And yeah, it's like I said, it's all family owned and operated. So it was a great experience.
So before I go too much further into showing the photos from the trailer, give us a background of the kind of people that are going to be in Mutilator 2 and some of their backgrounds for what people might most know them for.
Well, in the trailer, the big star is our Weekend at Bernie's guy, Mr. Bernie himself, Mr. Bernie Lomax, Terry Kaiser. He's in the trailer too. He plays Jack Chatham, who was a character in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was kind of starstruck because I admire him so much.
What about him gets you to a point where you're like, this is someone who I would like to learn from?
Perfect person, because he's been in the business for like 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's in his 80s. He was, you named the television show from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, he was on it. From like, I think Knight Rider to Policewoman to, you know, BJ and the Bear. He was in a movie called Steel with Lee Majors. He was in all sorts of things. He worked with Ray Milland in a movie called Starflight, I think, with Lee Majors again.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and Robin England was also in that too. 1984, 85-ish type of thing. The guy's been around for years. And he's someone I always admired. I'm like, oh, Terry Kaiser's in this movie. Oh, Terry Kaiser. And then Buddy told me on that Zoom call, he's like, yeah, we're going to get Terry Kaiser from Friday the 13th, Part 7, because he's in Part 7 as a doctor. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, I got to meet Terry Kaiser. I get to work with Terry Kaiser. And the first night I was there, I had dinner with him, and he was really a nice, charming man. And I was kind of like, I was fanboying. I was nervous. Like, oh my God, it's Bernie. But he was so nice and generous and kind of down to earth too. And I don't bother people at all. Like, I don't go, hey man, let's, I need an autograph. No, I don't ever really do that. And I did shake the man's hand.
It's funny too that you say something like that, because that is really my approach. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but they're still a human. They still deserve their space. They still deserve to be able to be in a place where they're not going to feel like they got to go run and hide someplace because, oh my God, they're coming. And if you just treat them like they're normal, regular people, most of them, that's when they really open up. That's when they start, talking about their backstory or allowing for you to feel more comfortable around them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he certainly did. Like, he sat down, he's eating banana pudding, and we're just talking about banana pudding. And somebody next to me said, it's just weird that Terry Kaiser is talking about banana pudding. But shut up. And like, he's right here.
He can hear you.
He can hear you. Some people I get goosebumps around. Like, I was just at a Mad Monster Party, and two people, actually three, I fanboyed around, and I almost cried with one. Keith David, the actor from a million movies. He's The Thing. He was in just in Nope. The John movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that just came out. He's in Something About Mary, tons of things. And I went to his Q&A. I'm like, I gotta ask him something. It's Keith David. So I actually asked him a question about what's it like acting with a flamethrower. And people started laughing, but then he looked at me at the panel and he goes, that is a great question. And he told me it was the scariest thing he ever did. Because if you watch The Thing, he has a flamethrower. He's shooting a monster.
Yes.
And he's like, the flamethrower wrangler said, aim right for this tennis ball. Do not go over here. Do not go over there.
Because you could hurt somebody.
You're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So that's actually Keith David, and I bet Kurt Russell lighting the soundstage of Universal on fire with a flamethrower. Now, talk about nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
For an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, you think, firearm safety. You got a friggin'... You got a giant thing of like gasoline strapped to your back and you're lighting things on fire. And then I actually took a picture with him later and I said, I'm the guy with the flamethrower thing. He's like, thanks for the question. He's like, yeah, that was so scary and everything. He's so nice. And I was just like, oh my God, it's Keith David. And just, I complimented him when I was asking the question. I'm like, sir, you're in one of the top 20, if not 30. I mean, there's tons of people who influence me, but who I looked at and I said, I can probably be an actor because somebody like that can be an actor. And Keith David has an amazing voice. He's done voiceovers. He's done cartoons. He's done Shakespeare. He's done all sorts of things. Horror movies, comedy.
Right.
And so Terry Kaiser's the same thing. Like he's done all sorts of movies. He's very versatile. I want to be like that. Ever since I was a kid, like I don't want to be, the one trick pony type of, kind of actor, if anything. And I look at that and I look at him and
it's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Motivational too.
Right. I also got to meet Lance Henriksen that day too. And the man was so generous and nice to me with his time. And I kind of took a picture with the gentleman and I said, I loved you in the movie The Visitor. Now, if you've never seen The Visitor, it is this wacky Italian horror movie that he was in the 1970s. And he looked at me like, you saw that? I didn't think anyone saw that. And it was funny. And people and the monster party people like, come on, we gotta go. And Lance Henriksen's like, wait, I gotta talk to this guy. This guy knows something. And he's like, that's the reason why I never went back to Italy. That movie was horrible. Like I was almost killed by I was killed by a piece of glass. That's terrible. It's like I'm like, thank you for that question.
It was kind of rough though. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Like this is a guy with 300 movies. I pick out that one. Yeah, so I'm a little goofy around like celebrities, people I admire, kind of thing.
So whom else in this particular film, Mutilator 2?
Right. I was going to say, like, now minus Terry, I worked with multiple people in multiple different movies that I didn't fanboy about because I didn't really know about them. But Cheney Morrow, for example, is in this movie called Haunt with Damien Maffei. And the two of them are in also Wrong Turn, the remake that they did. And I think I'm going to get this wrong, in 2019 and 2018. And they have a big horror pedigree and two wonderful guys, two charming, wonderful guys. We, guys that we just hung out at a set and, swapped stories and told jokes. And they are great in the movie. And Cody Renee Cameron, who was my lovely co-star, she was in El Camino, which was the Breaking Bad movie on Netflix. She plays, I think she plays a stripper. She plays a stripper. And she's actually in the show called The Mayans, which is a Son of Anarchy spinoff. And she was in a film called Neon Demon with Elle Fanning and Jenna Malone and Keanu Reeves, I believe. So she has a great pedigree. She's I think she's doing a pilot right now. She was charming, wonderful actress, a great person to work with. Ava Hamilton, who is a wonderful actress too. I didn't have any scenes with her. This is the one movie since we actually all lived at the resort.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We all were there. So I would, be going to lunch and Eva Hamilton or some other people would come, and this is how I know Dan. I went, hey, you want to go to lunch? Yeah, okay. So there's people like I never had a scene with at all that, I spent multiple times at the beach with or, going to lunch with.
Right.
And we all kind of bonded. We're actually still.
You get to be like a family especially when you're on a location and you're going to be there for a while.
Right. I know it's cliche, but like I've actually loved talking to these people. And we're we're all Facebook friends, and we'll crack jokes and wish each other happy birthday and stuff. And I can't think of another show that made me do that. I've been friendly with other people, like, with Will Colazzo's films. I'm friends with multiple people from that too. But I'm just a friendly person. I will reach out and I will wish someone a happy birthday regardless. I will.
Right.
I always have. Minus social media, I've always been out and like, hey, happy birthday. I hope you have a nice day and that kind of thing. But this set was great. And okay, so Fanboy, I met Ruth Martinez and Bill Hitchcock from the original.
Okay.
And they're cool. Super, super cool. And I have the best story from the movie with those two and Buddy Cooper. So Bill Hitchcock actually he was props as well. And he was helping me with a prop.
Yeah.
With the trench coat. I had a trench coat. There was a thing with my trench coat. So he had to deal with that. And Ruth was his assistant that night. So Ruth was the final girl from The Mutilator Part 1, and Bill was in The Mutilator Part 1, so I had two of them kind of fussing with me. And right in the middle, Buddy Cooper, the director, comes and walks in, and he's checking me out. Like, is he okay for the shot? And I kind of paused in my brain. I said, is this real? I got the final girl from the last movie. I got the star of the last movie and the director of the last movie, making sure, see if I'm okay. That's crazy. That would be like, have Langenkamp and Robert Englund and Wes Craven in front of me. If you give it like a thing. I mean, this is crazy. And nobody else is going to have a story like that but me. So I'm like, this is exciting. And Ruth is very charming, and Bill is very charming in his own way. But
what I found with people that have been in the industry for many, many years, they can be some of the most genuinely authentic people there are.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah, and but then I've met some people. Oh my goodness, they're in the business maybe a couple of years.
Oh.
2 minutes. This one lady was in oh my God. This one lady, she was in a film for a total of
2 minutes.
15 seconds.
Oh my
15
God.
seconds. And
Wow.
she's over there going, yeah, I was in this film, and she's was talking like she had this really big part, and that she was trying to get on and do like podcast or streamcast or whatever, and get into newspapers and all that. And I'm like, that's cool. I want to see what this is about. And then I find out that she's trying to hug press, and they were kind of sort of not really thrilled she was in the film to begin with.
That's always my
so you
fear.
don't know nothing. I mean, when people come and they say, yeah, I'm interested in doing this, and you don't know anything about the project or anything like that, and then you can find out that it can go off the rail real quick.
Oh yeah. No, true. I'm always afraid that that's going to be.
I had 5 people come to me and say, you don't want to do this. And I'm like, well, okay. So 1 or 2, okay, maybe you got something against her. But 5? And I'm like, and it was in the course of less than like 2 hours. These people were texting me, or I hadn't even had one call me. And I'm like, what is it about this particular person? She kind of sort of blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to say her name. And obviously not what she did. But these people, you have to, when you're building your indie family, or when you're building your film community around you, you really have to know as much as you possibly can about these people, because they help to build your reputation.
Yeah, I completely agree. And they are, you will run into some of these people again.
Yes.
Definitely producers.
It's a very small community, even though we're all scattered all over the globe.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Oh, we know. Yeah. Dan, your reputation does come and find you.
Yes. So whom are some of the other cast that we should make sure that we talk about?
Oh, So, well, we got my buddy Dan Grogan, who's he is in the film Ghosted with Chris Evans and I can't think of the lead actresses right now, but it's on Apple TV. He's got a small part, but he's in it, and I commend him for being in a movie with Chris Evans.
Cool.
Oh, I can't pronounce her name, but there is let's see, who else is there? I said, Ava Hamilton. I said before, yes, she is in tons of movies. I think she was just in a rom-com. She was in a short film with the woman from Halloween 3, and I think it won an award.
Okay.
She is
cool.
She's doing tons of stuff. This cast is that talented that they can go and go out and do tons of things.
I hear that it's financed pretty readily and is not going to be an issue with that. So when do they think that this thing might actually come out?
The question that everyone's asking.
Yes.
I don't have access to that information. However, Joe Bob Briggs's Drive-In, which is on Shudder, they actually did a whole thing on the first movie. This actually happened recently. You can actually find it on Shudder's website. In the episode.
Did.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but they talk about the whole movie and they show the trailer that you showed.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 guys that are on that set and they're talking.
Oh, cool. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a nice panel.
I can't wait to see it myself. Yeah, because I always liked Joe Bob Briggs. I thought he was funny, and it could be anytime. Hopefully, the summer of 2023. I'm guessing. There's obviously, like I keep saying, but it's true. There's an international fan base. I was on a podcast recently called On the Slab radio horror show with and it was people from Ireland, Greg Flanagan, the super fan of The Mutilator, all the way in Ireland, and he is like chomping at the bit. He can't wait for this thing to
I think it's
come
just
out.
going to be super cool.
Yeah, there's also like a couple other people I want to mention real quick, like Anna Clary, who's going to be a rising star in the horror community. She's in like 10 or 13 things I could think of offhand. She's a very, very funny and very nice person. But the whole cast, and I hate doing laundry lists because there's just so many. My buddy Eric Six, hey Eric, who's also in it. It's just go out and see this movie. Wherever it is, if it's streaming or if it's in theaters, go see it. Just go.
I want to show some photos, and then we're going to get to your reel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I love eerie photos. That looks like that's going to be a ton of. Oh, hell no.
That's for the first movie. That is the infamous battle axe that the Mutilator carries around with him, which got stolen years later.
You know what? I think that's why I decided to put that in there, because I heard about that.
Buddy said that I think it was in a garage somewhere. When you go to this location, and like I'm immersed in the Mutilator world, Buddy Cooper, the director, keeps everything. Like he even said he admits that he's a pack rat. In fact, we were shooting scenes. I look down and I see old VHSs of the Mutilator, like in pencil or something, and I wonder if that was another cut. There's scenes in the movie where the original props are in the scenes that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, I stopped and went, whoa, wait, what? That last 40 or something years? Like 83, 84. So 40 years ago, there's a scene, this is the only spoiler I'm going to give, but like in this first movie, the little boy is writing a happy birthday card, and that happy birthday card lasted 40 years, and it's on the wall in the scene that I'm in. And I stopped short. I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy. It's actually the same one. So
that's super cool.
That's crazy. Unfortunately, the battle axe was stolen, and I think they obviously did do a replica of it. Because it is shown in the trailer, for some reason. And there's my buddy, Mr. Kaiser.
Absolutely. All right. today. We're just going to flip through some more. And
Ryan James. He is a big red carpet kind of guy. He is always at premieres. He's a very nice man. He just was at the premiere, I believe, of Clerks 3. There's a Clerks 3 with Kevin Smith. He was at the premiere of that. And I think a Chasing Amy documentary, I believe, that he was in. So or was at the premiere, whatever. Ryan's a good dude. He is playing the character that I wanted in the script. Zine, Z-I-N-E, magazine report. Like, he is a reporter, and I actually had I was going to do a tape for Buddy about this guy, because I was going to do something different. I was going to do kind of a German accent or something with it. I was going to do something crazy with it, but I never got a chance to audition. He wanted me to play a completely different character, which was probably the better choice, because Ryan is a tremendous character actor in himself, and can't wait for you to see what he does with that character. Oh, yes. Okay, spoiler alert. It's not, that's not David Thornton. Oh, David is a very nice man. I've met him. I met him at Mad Monster Party 2022. I have a 6 degrees with the Terrifier. Have you seen Terrifier?
No, I have not.
Okay. One of the actresses in Terrifier is murdered in a very disgusting way, and I'm friends with that person. Well, acquaintances, let's be honest. I worked on a music video with her, and I walked up to David at the table, and I go, "You did bad things to my friend," and I know her name is Catherine Cochran. I know her as Katie Cochran, and I said that to her, and he kind of looked at me and said, "Oh, you know Katie," and we talked for about 10-15 minutes about just and stuff. And he has that makeup on, and he's terrifying. Without it, he's just a normal, nice guy. And I applaud him so much, because he is blowing up completely. He's a great success story, in the sense that Terrifier 2 made so much money that they're releasing Terrifier 1 back in the theater. So you get to see David and my buddy Katie Cochran in the movie.
I like it when they do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll make just enough, maybe more, hopefully, than the sequel.
And they get to show it to a whole new audience too.
Yeah,
and that helps to perpetuate some of these, really cool films that have a lot of practical effect in it, and CGI free. All of that
we like a lot.
Yes, we do, because we need to keep these actors in the working loop.
Right. That is Dan Grogan and Damien Maffei. Damien is playing what was he playing? He's playing Detective Columbo. Yes, that's the name. And he's like this quirky cop, and Dan is the executive of the studio that's making the Mutilator remake project or whatever. Like, and that is the security guard there is a nice man. I unfortunately can't think of his name, but that is the property of the Oceanic Resort, and it is just a wonderful place, and it's great. And right next to that, the security guard, there's like a little mini arcade where you could play like pinball machines and stuff. It's great. I'm like, I was having a blast.
I miss those things.
Oh, I love it.
Goodness, yeah.
I would just clear my head. I would go in the arcade and listen to the pinball machines, like, or the arcade machines, the Frogger machine or whatever that. I don't think it was Frogger or something else, but it was fun.
They were cool.
Love nostalgia. Right.
Let me see if I can pull up your reel.
I'm sorry.
Broke. What you do, Vera, is very simple, because obviously you don't understand this. You call, you collect the money, and then we hang up. Call, collect, hang up. You got it?
Do you yield?
Wowee, you really bankrupt me.
I'm going for broke.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna work with this
That's
guy.
why I have all that credit card debt. But this is gonna do it. This is gonna help. This is gonna fix it. Trust me. Do you trust me?
Beck, I care
Kate,
about you. Beck,
Kate,
Beck.
Do you trust me?
Of course I do. I care about you.
I know.
You are mine now.
Me jodí! They taught me how to think about the future. Have you? Have you thought about your future? That is, do you know who you're voting for PTA president?
I haven't had time to give it much thought.
No, on the bluff. These are friends. Helping friends. You wouldn't have to think about helping a friend now, would you?
Well, how do I?
Right there. You just have to sign right there. Oliver, what will you do? Your parents will get rid of you next. All they seem to care about is this! It's over, Oliver. Maggie, what are you looking for? This group is about trust. If you don't feel comfortable, I can recommend another group or therapist for you.
I'm just trying to understand.
Understand what? I show my scars so others can heal. Not everybody comes back from the abyss, Maggie.
Back so soon. I guess you want the market to crash down upon you.
That was super cool.
That guy's a jerk.
I really love the array of work that you have so far. And I'm wondering, I know it's difficult to like say what your like most favorite was or what your ideal role is, but do you think that these, well, I know what I could do. What role have you had up to this point that has helped to define who you are as an actor?
Well, I would say the character of Orson, me running around with a chainsaw. For a while, like I felt like that was grounding to me. It was a part where I'm like, do I really want to do this? It was like kind of sleazy exploitation movie kind of thing. I didn't want to do it. It was bloody. It was violent. I really hated it. And then I got into the guy because I said to myself, I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I really went all out, ripped out my nose hairs to cry. I was just like clawing at myself, throwing myself against the wall in the scenes, working with some great people on the set. And, I would say, I always think back to him. He's somebody I would never want to meet in real life. He's somebody that scares me. He's somebody that shouldn't be in a room with anybody because he was a vicious, he was an empty vessel that was controlled by an evil person in that movie. That's actually Theater of Horror. I play Orson the Killer, where at the end of the film, you find out that he's a split personality and he can switch and change, do all sorts of different things and play different people. So that's what kind of drew me to him a little bit. But I go, if I can pull that off and pull it off well for that movie, I can do anything. And looking at now, I sit down and I chose all those clips because I had to do a certain time limit, of course, because a sizzle reel should really be 3 minutes long. A super cut sizzle reel should be like 60 seconds. But I chose each one of those parts because each one of them was some character that was different each time.
Yes.
The animated rabbit was a fan film for the video game Five Nights at Freddy. And I just did a voiceover for the rabbit, but the director was clever. He took 4 versions of what I did and fused it together, and it was so scary that they actually, he told me that he used my voice on the set, and it scared the actress a little bit. Like, she's reacting to obviously a tennis ball.
Right.
I wasn't on set at all. Like, I never met.
But you could hear.
Right. And you're mine now. I can't even do it again because, I'm not that mindset, but like, you are mine now. That's like one of the coolest things I've ever done. And I'm not even, it's not me, it's my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that and I go, yeah, you know what? You have some skin in the game. You have a, thing to deposit in the bank. Now I'm Mr. Money. That's professionally done. I have the Mutilator. Please come to the table. Now I have cred. I have street cred, yo. I am
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I can drive like this now and go like, hey, how you doing? Like this. Oh wait, no. We want the movie to be produced.
Yeah.
We promote the movie. Promote the movie. No, at this point I can say I am an actor, as well as other things, but I am an actor. I have proof. Now I have proof.
It's very cool to be able to get to do something that you really love to do.
Yes.
And also be really good at it, because if you really like doing it, but you didn't have the ability to mold yourself into that character that the director and the writer want, then you wouldn't be able to do all of the things that you're doing now.
After the guy who cuts off someone's head with a chainsaw, my buddy William Colazzo, the next movie I did was the clip you showed where I was talking to the girl and saying that I care about you. That was actually the original Bloody Nun. We actually did a requel of Bloody Nun, but I played a character who was in love with that girl. They were friends, and it was great because I'm like, now I'm not Orson. Now I'm this other like heartbroken kind of person who's trying to get the girl in that one. And it was totally, for me, definitely fulfilling. It's 2 different kind of things. It was the guy who was a serial killer, horrible, dark heart, and somebody who just wants this girl to love him. And I am the kind of guy who I can hold 2 thoughts in my head at the same time. Like, it's cool to be the killer, but it's also cool to be the romantic lead,
Absolutely.
I definitely did it. I would love to play more romantic leads that, don't look like I'm trying to kill people. But,
but it's kind of fun to be that
right.
guy that goes and slashes people, because think of how many people in your life that you've had to deal with, and you're like, man, if they could write you into a movie or a book or a script, be like 10 times over.
Right.
Let's talk about these guys.
Yes, they are very handsome people. On the left, that is Cheney Morrow, who is a superstar. He is in Mallium, which just came out, I believe, on streaming. Then he is featured in the May edition of Fangoria for that film, and they go into a whole thing about the makeup, and they interview him. They just get pictures and stuff. He is a wonderful actor, and I think that is Josh. I don't recall working with that gentleman. I probably did. I'm sorry. I just don't recall him. He's a wonderful human being, whoever that is. We have a huge cast with the Mutilator, and there's some people.
I think there's 20 to 30.
No,
maybe
there's like 50 something people.
Holy Moses!
Yeah, some people I didn't get a chance to meet at all.
Right.
Some people
and
can't
that happens on sets where there are a whole lot of people and you don't get to see everybody.
No. And Chaney is a wonderful, wonderful person.
How about these two?
Okay. The guy on the left, I don't know. He's a creep. The woman on the right, that's Lauren Swan. She is fantastic actress, and she I believe lives in Florida, and she has been in a lot of shorts. A lot. She showed me one that I think was interested. It was no. Yeah, I think what she said, it was entered into a festival. I had a great time working with her, and she in the film kind of plays my assistant. And she her and I got along really well. And talk about improv, like the two of us kind of read off each other. I would do something like ridiculous, like a man of power. I play the head of the studio, and like I said, she's my assistant, but she wouldn't take my crap, kind of thing. So it worked perfectly. And when you see the film, you'll understand. So yes, Lauren Swan.
I want to know exactly when this thing comes out, because
I don't know. I will find out.
It. I want to see it.
I haven't seen it either.
Cool. It's gonna be so super cool.
It's gonna be great. That is that's the Oceanic. What is that? That there's a pool behind where those people are gathered. Now that pool, all the way in the back there, is the same pool. If you watch the original movie, there's a killing in the first movie in that pool, and that's the same pool that they used. So again, I swam in that pool. That is a fantastic little piece of trivia right there. And those are horror movie fans who love the movie so much that they drove to or flew to the set just to be in the scene. That I'll say the guy Rick Flecka, Brooklyn Bulldog on Instagram, my buddy, he's somewhere in that scene. I think I see Gabrielle Mead, who she's a great actress too. She actually plays another reporter, I believe. I don't remember her character offhand. She actually is in looks like a red jumper in the back there.
So it's obviously a night shot. How late in the night did you guys shoot most times?
From 8 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning. Or to 6 until the sun.
Right.
I mean, night shoots, when you see a scene at night in anything, a TV show or a movie, most likely it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Especially like with TV and stuff. Just appreciate the process when you see that. Sometimes you're like, well, okay. I mean, that, would that take 10 minutes? No, that scene probably could take.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, all right. So you get all excited. You're on your first film thing and you got a few lines and you got a few little bits, and your first impressions are, this shouldn't take too long. And it's like 6 to 8 hours later.
Welcome to the movie biz.
Yes. Talk a little bit about what it's like to actually be on set and how much time actually is spent in front of a camera or waiting.
The best job on a movie set, or that the actors should appreciate, are the PAs, the production assistants. They have a walkie-talkie. They go, "Hey, Carl, do you want coffee?" "Yes, please. Yes." We had wonderful PAs on this set. Wonderful PAs. And they would get get me coffee. And one night I was shaking. I fell asleep in one of those lawn chairs or whatever you might probably could see in the back of that picture. And they actually had to wake me up, and I was having a dream, a nightmare or something. They're like, okay. And I almost fell off into the parking lot because I was so kind of thing. But I'm like, I'm fine. I'm gonna take one for the team. I hear him on the walkie-talkies. I think Grasso's gonna fall. We're fine. I'm fine. I swear. You sit and you sit and you sit and you sit. That's why you hear, "I'll be in my trailer." That's not
slam.
That's not a joke. That's a real thing, because actors who have trailers, I can't wait to get one.
I know.
Is they will go sleep, and they'll do whatever they have to do for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It takes a long time because it's not like just pressing a button. You have different setups. You have different angles. Storyboards have to be done in a certain way. And it doesn't. And we're not talking about like hundreds of $1 million movies to $1 million movie. It's still done the same way.
Yes.
The lights have to be shown the right way. They have to be aimed the right way. The sound has to be calibrated. Oh my God, the sound wasn't on. What? The sound, there's no reason why the sound shouldn't be okay because you have all this time. The lights, I understand. The sound, no. We got to switch lenses. We got to move. We got to move the setup. We got to have Carl. We got to have Carl on this angle. We have to go over, and you're just sitting in a chair.
There are lots of different things that are involved in being on set, being part of a film production. And a lot of it is either staging or planning, or it's lighting, or it's, you're dealing with weather. And then, especially for smaller productions, there is a lot of personal stuff that comes into play when you are just living your regular life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of things that are, that sometimes the consistency of the film is not going to be the way you want it to be. And like, say you started shooting things in the spring and it's coming around midsummer, starting early fall, and you're like, what do I do?
I have two stories. One of the actresses had to spend, I think, all night like in a bikini or in her underwear or something, strapped to a pier, just strapped to a log.
Mm-hmm.
And between the takes, they put like blankets and they had a heater. I think I wasn't on set for this, and she was a trooper, and she did it. And actually, she's on our poster. It's Ava Hamilton. She's on our poster from Mutilator 2. And like, she's a pro. She can do it. I'm kind of responsible for Mr. Jeff Seaman, our producer, assistant director, having a concussion. He was talking to me, walking and talking about a scene. He turned, and I think he hit a light or he hit the stairs down. And literally, I'm like, oh God. And like, everyone flocked over to get him. And he was like,
wow.
He's like, where am I? We took him to the hospital. We took him to a hospital. He had a concussion.
Oh, wow.
And he missed, I think, a day and a half of shooting. He's been on a podcast talking about this too. And he said, this I didn't know, but like the next day, the crew surprised him with a body part that was mutilated off of one of the actors. And it was a naughty bit of a body part. I'll just say that. And he's like, well, thanks, after my concussion, I had to wake up and I had to see that. So, yeah.
Film people, are, especially on horror films, are some of the funniest people.
Oh God, yeah,
I know.
It's so much fun making a horror movie because you'll do, like you'll murder somebody in a horrible scene and then cut and then you crack a joke and then everyone's like, high fiving. It's the same thing. Because it's like it's all make believe and but like you were saying before, that's the assistant director and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah,
I mean, it happened. It's life. Life is unpredictable, and during production when I was driving home, I found out that I had a leak from my toilet and like our pipe broke or something, and me, big movie star, had to deal with a flood. So it's not all glorious and glamour, and we're not all living in mansions and that kind of thing. It's work.
No, right?
It's a job.
And who are these two?
They're very handsome people. That is my buddy Ryan James. He's playing Zine, and that is Mr. Buddy Cooper, the reason for the reason of why I'm here.
That's super cool, and I'm glad that I was able to get a shot of him in here.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper is a hero to me, and he has helped me.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, don't be disrespectful. There you go.
I know, right? I gotta get out of the way. Just give me
you blocked Ryan. Ryan doesn't care.
Yeah.
Buddy's been a personal friend to me too. He's actually helped me through a tough time recently, and you know, in essence, I've said this to him publicly, privately, that this film changed my life in a way. And we were saying before with horror movie fans. Horror movie fans are the most loyal, nice, and I mean, loving people ever. Like science fiction, like I always go back to the Star Trek fans. They're kind of quirky in the sense that they're adversarial. Like, that didn't happen in this episode. But horror movie fans, you could all be in the same room. You could have different religions, political backgrounds, whatever. But if you all have a Freddy Krueger mask or a Jason mask from a different Friday the 13th movie, the one person's going to walk over and go, oh my God, that's from part 5. Oh my God, that's from part 6. Oh, wow. Let's, and it's amazing watching everybody come together.
Yes.
And they go, oh my God, you were in the Mutilator? In the Mutilator 2? That's Buddy Cooper. He's going to sign my an autograph. And when I went to Mad Monster Party with Buddy, me, Damien, we went on a panel. You could find that on YouTube. And my first panel ever. And it was going to be just Damien and him. And I would just walk with him. And Buddy's like, no, you come with me. And he took me on stage with him. And
that's super cool.
Yeah, I sat with Damien and we talked about the Mutilator and the Mutilator 2. It was actually a lot of fun. And definitely changed my life. Gave me some cred, like I said.
Yes.
And
that you deserve. Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's talk about the fact that you went and you did the thing. You did it well, and you got some attention.
I did it. I did that thing.
And that guy says, I think I'm going to put him in my movie.
When we were done with the panel and going for the kitchen, the Revenge of the Nerds cast was there, and I think I brushed it past. Did I? Brian Tashi and Robert Carradine. I think I bumped Robert Carradine into the water cooler. I felt bad. Brian Tashi was just like, he was a sweet guy. I think Robert Carradine was like, who the hell is this guy? Donald Bibb, who played the big guy in Revenge of the Nerds. He was so charming, and he was we were just talking about hey, how do you get food in this hotel that we're in? And we're just like, where'd you get that? And we're in the elevator, and he's just chatting, and I think my producer's like Jeff's like, wait, was that the guy from Revenge of the Nerds? I'm like, yeah, I've been talking to him for about 15 minutes. He's a nice dude. So it's funny. It's like, some people are down to earth, but there are celebrities that I have met / work with.
Oh, honey, yes, yeah.
And you go, right? Yeah, I mean, but it's cool when you meet somebody you do admire, and they are actually
real.
Yeah,
and most of them are.
Yes,
there's always that 10% that is going to put it in a particular perspective that you just really wish you would have not have known about.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are decent people.
We were at this convention, and Neve Campbell was next to us. She was the nicest person I think I've met ever. She was so nice to us. And I mean, you wouldn't think, and I'm not saying that I had an opinion one way or the other of this person. I go, wow, she doesn't have to be out of her way to come over to us and say good morning. She just did. I mean, and there's some people who you could barely see or care about, and they're charging $50 an autograph or whatever. I never go to conventions. I never go to those kind of things. I was never whatever. And
that
was my first one, and to be behind the table and signing an autograph or two or taking a picture or two was mind-blowing to me. And when this film finally comes out, there will be, I'm imagining, a bigger audience for that. and they're gonna want my autographs and my blood and all that kind of stuff.
So super cool that this is happening for you.
The only spoiler I'm gonna say is that I am in this movie.
Gotta put you in there because we've been talking about this thing and we've been saying he's in the movie.
Yes.
Here's proof. Let me get out of the way.
I'm not in the movie for a minute. I'm in the movie throughout the entire thing. I'm not gonna tell you what happens to me in the movie at all, but I am not in the movie for 2 minutes and that's it. I am in the movie for the majority of the time.
I think that's super cool.
So you
look
will,
at you.
You'll be yeah, look at me.
Look at you. I mean, you look like, you've got some things to say. You got some people that are going to be listening to what you have to say. Let me get out of the way.
Dan. I'm actually talking to Dan Grogan. We talked about Dan before, yeah. In that scene.
That's super cool.
That's another scene where it took 2 days to shoot me saying 2 lines or 2 or 3 lines because it was just an effect was going wrong. The fog machine wasn't working. I don't think the lights weren't working. It was like a fire effect. Something was happening, and I had to run on stage, say blah blah blah, 3-4 things, move to the center, cheat this way, then leave at the same time. So it was like being on a stage. You have to know your lines.
Yes.
And it was rough. It was rough in the sense that like it was, I had to be perfect every time. I could not screw.
Because it's tiring too. It's and then so what did you do to be able to stay in that particular rhythm to be able to keep doing it?
And this is hard to do on a film set, but I can do it. I can kind of channel everybody out. I can drown everybody out or put myself in a cocoon and do the steps like a dance. And I can try to do it, and I screw up sometimes. I screw up a lot. In fact, I stepped on poor Cody Renee Cameron's foot, rehearsing like an idiot once because I had to spin and go out a door. I didn't realize her foot was right there, and I stepped on her and I walked out. And so it doesn't work all the time. But like I'm like, you got to do it like math. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. Yes, and if it hits 7, you screwed up. So you have to do the steps. You have to do the beats. You have to do it. It's like music. You gotta do it perfectly. So it also comes from experience. An inexperienced actor is not going to know their monologue by heart. It's just not going to happen because you're going to be nervous. First time in front of a camera, you're like, what do I do? And that's perfectly normal. Same thing as being on the stage.
Yes.
You gotta, I sucked on stage for the longest time. So I didn't go on stage for a while. And I still get a little bit of stage fright, just every time, like a little bit. And then take 1s are always shit. Take 6 or 7 is always the gold thing. Always right there for me. Because now I'm in my groove, and now I'm gonna play. Now I'm gonna do something even better.
Because you're breathing like the character, you're talking like the character, you're involved in that atmosphere where that character lives.
Right.
And that makes it a bit easier to be able to have the flow going. And I know, like when I was doing some commercial shots for Tingler Television, where our show can be seen Friday night on the Roku television.
Yes.
Yeah. Very proud of our people over at Tingler Television. It took me about 15 takes to get this one piece right, and it was only like 3 or 4 lines. And I'm like, what? I mean, and it's just me. It's just me here. I got no reason to be nervous about it. But I think
you're not playing a character, you're playing yourself. You're more nervous about that. I know what that's like.
All right, so talk about that. Since I brought you to that point.
Because I just did this recently. I'm like, let me just do a promo, and it took me like exactly what you said, 13, 14 takes of me just saying, hey, go to this website and donate here. And like, why can't I get this? Why can't I get in 30 seconds? I'm doing like a minute and 30 because it's not genuine for me. It's not like, something I normally do. If I was like Shakespeare, I said, yes, come to Tingler Television and watch this wonderful video of The Mutilator 2 on Friday nights on the Roku channel. Perfect. If I had
6
to,
o'clock, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
see, I screwed up. I messed up.
Yes, I completely, I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're yourself, you just, and it could also be you're too relaxed that you're not thinking that you're on stage. Performing is always that you're on a stage of some sort. Even speaking in front of a classroom, in front of, a church.
Yeah, because you got people that are looking at what you're saying, and they're expecting you to,
at a wedding. You're always,
right.
You got to prepare.
Right.
And it's just that stage fright because it's you. If it's not you, it's not you. You could be, that's like, well, no, that's not me. That's, that's William Shakespeare coming out.
Right.
Talking about Roku TV.
Right.
And Tingler Television. And Jackie Chan. I don't know what else. I ran out of plugs.
Thank you. Well, appreciate all of that. All right. Speaking of plugs, we're up at that point where we need to get your social media
security number
and all of that kind of good stuff. So,
I'm not giving you my social security number.
I've seen your social security number. You really need to make a little bit more money. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't do.
Pay him some more. Pay him some more. He deserves it.
My password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that kind of thing, or password. So
password.
Password is password. You probably could use password and password. Nobody would care. Nobody would be. This guy's not that stupid, right?
I tell you.
Well, you can find out.
Let me get out of the way.
Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Mutilator 2 is on Facebook and Instagram, #Mutilator2 or #The Mutilator on Instagram. You go to the IMDb page, look up Mutilator 2, and you can also look me up on IMDb. Carl J. Grasso. Instagram is #Carl J. Grasso, and I usually will post things about on Instagram, things I'm doing, films I'm doing, or I might throw a random cat on there for some reason that's on my keyboard, like something like that. Check out the University of North Carolina School of Visual Arts, uncsa.edu. Check that. It's a great institution. And I have tons of stuff coming down. I got to do this for my buddy, Phil Herman. The I Slay on Christmas is now live. It is a Film Indiegogo page. We are getting movie. It's going to be a remote horror movie. He just did Doomsday Stories, which is a really cool, again, remote kind of thing. He does great remote movies where, when I say remote, people in different parts of basically the planet, I think, shoot a little segment, a short film, and then he makes a bigger film out of it. So he's working with Joel Weinkamp, and so I Slay on Christmas, Film Indiegogo. Blackest Darkness, which was directed by Adam Hewlin and written by Michael D'Acosta, will be hitting festivals. It's a short film, and they are looking for financing for a feature. And I play, of course, I play someone who is a bad guy, and look for that in the festival circuit because there's tons of festivals. That's gonna be a big one. My buddy William Colazzo Jr., yes, who you and I have a mutual friend, Maritza.
Yes, yay, Maritza!
Who her and I worked with Will on Amityville Shark House. I have Silent Night, Bloody Night 3, which is coming, I think, this winter, and the Bloody Nun reboot, with Lloyd Kaufman. That's also coming out, I believe, this Christmas or Halloween, around there. You can find those out at cultcinema.com. And I just found this out, but my buddy at Sinister Studios, Clarence Adams at ANC Creations, Adams Designs, he is making a film called The Hag. And of course, it is going to be an awesome movie where an Urban X kind of team goes into a building and they accidentally find a witch, unearth the witch, and guess who has to deal with the witch? Who me. Of course, it's going to be great. It's going to be shot, I think, over the summer, and I will be starring in it with a bunch of lovely people that I can't mention right now. But it's called The Hag, and look for it very soon. And yeah, you go to Clarence Adams Designs, you can see there's actually a picture on his Facebook page of the Hag makeup. It's a model shoot, and it looks so cool. So that is what's going on with me. So thank you so much for having me. This is so cool.
What did you think about your first time on Zombiepalooza Radio Live? And what do you think it is in benefit towards people who are in indie film?
We need things like this. We need to talk to each other. We can't just sit there and just pay to play. And when I say pay to play, there are people who pay to be in movies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's some people who want to be movie stars automatically, and some people exploit them for doing that. If you want to be an actor, you have to learn how to do it. And you have to, if you're going to use your money, you might as well just take your regular standard acting class. To make a film, join festivals, and a radio show or TV show like Jackie's is crucial, because we need to network. We need to know how to do this. We need to find resources. We need to find websites and things, and network. Maybe Jackie knows somebody I know, and actually the same person that we know is a great filmmaker. She's made tons of horror movies, tons of weird, but she's made very poignant, realistic films on her own.
Yes.
You know, she's made very heartwarming films, family films. And that's the kind of filmmaker that I am. You know, I'm not a one genre kind of thing. And you know what? I know I've been putting that down the whole night. There's nothing wrong with somebody who wants to just be in a one genre thing. Usually that is horror, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. That is fine. Right. That's, you know, because they're, like I said, horror movie fans are very loyal and loving, and they love seeing movies like this. So if you're going to be a one trick,
be good at it.
Be good at it, and definitely horror movies is the place to be. But also, you don't want to be too bad at it, because, well, you know, you're going to be made fun of. Well, but you know, definitely don't be a snob. Go talk to people.
Be genuine.
You can ask Jackie a question, and she'll give you a real answer, because she has experience. Ask me anything. I can tell you a billion stories. For, you know, we would need another 2 hours. I can tell you like tons of stuff that happened that I just, you know, you just can't, you can't believe until it actually happens to you. And it actually happens to me, some of these things.
Yes.
And it's just, it's hard to explain unless you're there. If you are an actor, you can, if you have actors that are worth the same as you all can share experiences. And I worked with somebody who was on Scream 5. I worked with somebody who just did a movie with Chris Evans. I told you that. I mean, you know, and you just listen to their stories. You're like, oh, really? Wow. And then by listening to their stories, you can actually enrich yourself. And now you realize that you're part of the community, and then you can mention their story to somebody else.
Yes.
So like, yeah, no, so and so that person is a great director. That person's really nice, or everyone thinks he's a snob, but he's actually down to earth. Or, you know, like Keanu Reeves. I mean, there's a video of him just being genuinely nice like every day. He you know, thanked the crew of one of the John Wick, probably the last John Wick movie he did, and he was crying. He just thanked everybody for being there and being part of the production. And
because he knows that they would not have this production and this wonderful ending film if it weren't for them.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to put Keanu Reeves on a pedestal for that, and just say like he's right. That's a genuine thing.
Absolutely,
I agree with him completely.
Yes.
I mean, on Mutilator too. I had wonderful makeup people. I had Cheyenne and Jason Irwin. Literally, like I was just so tired, and they had to fix me up literally, and they're like, it was like they were like a trauma team, like doing the panels, like, you know, Jason pulled out a razor and was shaving me, touching me up, and making me like, wake up, kind of just, and I thank them for that, because I need someone to hold my phone, I need someone to hold my coffee, I need someone to do that, and every time I do that, I thanked everybody on that set. I walked up to them the last night and I said to the, second assistant director, I said, I feel safe when I'm around you. When I see you, I know that things are going to get done right. Because in my experience, I'm sure in Jackie's experience too, there are people who don't know what they're doing and they don't have the answer.
That's
and
true.
They might not be snobs, or they might not be, they just might not know because they're new.
Right.
But like when you get a cast, when you get a crew that are professionals
and they know what they're doing, it is
love
like
what they do.
being in your own home.
Yes. And you could go, oh, I feel safe. Because the makeup people, the wardrobe people, I had great wardrobe people on The Mutilator. You just go in and you know your costume's going to be ironed. You know your costume's going to be in the same place. And here's what you do. You hang up your wardrobe every night. You make sure, not for you, for them, that they know that you appreciate them.
Oh, yeah.
Every prop, everything is in a place. So they don't have to, go crazy. Oh my God, what happened to this? You make their job easier. They're going to take care of you and make your job even easier.
On that note, this is Jackie Chin. And before I go, I want to make sure that Maritza Berkasak gets 100% prop for sending out a shout out for me. I'm looking for film people.
Yes.
If you have a story that you want to tell and you want to be able to get people to notice what you're doing and find out more about your background, you got to get on this show. This is Jackie Chin, and I've been here talking with Carl J. Grasso for the past 2 hours. I appreciate you. Thank you for making your mark. Thank you for the things that you're going to be doing even after this production is finished. I appreciate everything about you. Thank you. Thank you. This is Jackie Chin.
Bye, Maritza. It's your boy Toy saying bye.
Signing off. Zombiepalooza Radio Live.